Happy New Year, everyone. This week I started off in the Everglades and I went down to the city of Flamingo, where, of course, everything's painted pink because it's the city of Flamingo. That was fun. Lots of mosquitoes, but that was fun. That was cool. And it was hot, so I got some ice cream. And if you like Reese's like me, and you ever see this Reese's ice cream, highly recommend it. They hit the nail on the head with this one. It's really good. After that, I headed south to the Keys. I was able to find some nice hikes, go to some beaches, found a dog park for Cammy to play with some other dogs, walked around Key West, went to the southernmost point in the U.S. That was very cool. Also went to Fort Zachary Taylor State Park. Actually, maybe it's a national park, I don't remember. But went there, walked around that. That was nice. Had some cool beaches in the very edge of the island, the very edge of the Keys. And it kind of felt like, going to the edge of the world, even though it's just another spot. But it was very cool. And also found one of the original Bass Pro Shops. That was cool because they had a very old wooden boat inside that you could walk around in, climb in, check out. There was some history behind it that I didn't pay too close attention to, but I'm probably sure it was interesting. And yeah, that was fun. The weather was kind of interesting. Some days it was sunny and cloudy. Some days it was sort of foggy and rainy. But in general, it was nice. I actually enjoyed the foggy and rainy better for hiking. Um, when the sun was out, it gets really hot. I went south to avoid the cold of the winter. I wasn't expecting it to be this hot down here at the end of December. But it is. So if you're ever coming down here, be prepared for that. After leaving the Keys, I went back to the Everglades, but this time to the northern and western part of it. Um, was able to do some more hikes. I don't think there was anything super fabulous, but I just enjoy any sort of hike. And then after leaving the Everglades, found some cool dog parks for Cammy to hang out in. And for New Year's, I went to the beach. It was actually super foggy that day, which was kind of interesting, kind of eerie. But it was enjoyable just to hang out at the beach. And I took a nap a little bit before it got late, and then got up before midnight to go back to the beach to celebrate New Year's. I enjoyed sort of quiet New Year's celebration. And it was really nice because aside from the waves washing up on the beach, there was also actually some bioluminescent, like phosphorescent glowing in the waves as they were washing up, and these like specks that were zooming around and glowing phosphorescently. So I don't know. It was a really nice way to celebrate the end of 2024. And I guess I also wanted to say that I've already got my goals and stuff. I know a lot of people do New Year's resolutions, and I sort of have a system now where I do goals throughout the year, so I don't focus at the end of the year on that. But what I did do this year is I spent some time to sort of reflect on everything I had done in the past year, all the changes I'd made in my life, all the accomplishments I'd done, and to appreciate that. I think a lot of times where we're just focused on the future and what we need to do next. And I would highly recommend taking the time to look at what you've done, what you've accomplished, and appreciate yourself for that. Yeah, that's my reflection for the end of the year. And next, I'm gonna talk a bit about Hanukkah if you want to stick around for that. Watch me light the candles and learn about Hanukkah. So as you watch me light the candles and the candles burn down, let's learn about Hanukkah. What's it about? What is this holiday? So it takes place. The holiday is commemorating a point in Jewish history, um, which takes place in during the Greek Empire. So this is, I don't know, 2,000 years ago or so. And the Greeks were in control of all of Israel and most of the Middle East at this point. And the previous emperor of the Greek Empire was all about religious freedom. Jews were allowed to practice their religion however they wanted. Other religions could practice however they wanted. And then this new emperor comes in, Antiochus the Fourth, I think. Not super important, but he comes in and he says, "No, you can't. Nobody can practice their own religion anymore. Everybody needs to practice Greek religion. You all need to worship Zeus and the other Greek gods." And a lot of people didn't like that. But a revolt was started. It was started by a guy named Mattathias, and he killed a Greek official and I think some other people, and died shortly thereafter. But his children took up the cause. His oldest son being Judah, who became known as the Maccabee. Maccabi in Hebrew means he hit me, because Judah was sort of known as like the hammer. He would smash and destroy the Greeks. Anyway, there were all sorts of battles. There's some interesting history about how they were fought and how the Greeks were outsmarted, because the Maccabees were a much smaller force than the Greek Empire, as you could imagine. But eventually they were successful after a few years, and they went back and they took back the temple. It was still standing at this time, the Jewish holy temple. And in the temple, there's supposed to be a lamp that's lit 100% of the time. It's supposed to be going all the time. Of course, when the Greeks were there, they didn't care about that. They didn't have it lit. So as soon as the Maccabees took control again, they lit the lamp. But they only had enough olive oil for it to go for about a day. And it takes about a week for them to make new olive oil. So, well, they lit it anyway, just sort of hope for the best, and started making new olive oil. And the miracle of Hanukkah is that that lamp continued burning until they had new olive oil, which was 8 days later. And that's why the holiday of Hanukkah is 8 days. That's why there are 8 candles in the Hanukkah. That's why it's the festival of lights. That's why we eat foods fried in oil on Hanukkah. And that's why on dreidels, the letters stand for "a great miracle happened there." And of course, if you're in Israel, they say "a great miracle happened here." Dreidels, there's another interesting story there. The story behind that is that a different point in Jewish history, I don't know when, but we weren't allowed to celebrate Hanukkah, and so they would do it anyway, but they'd post a guard outside to keep an eye out for, the local police or watchmen or government agents or whatever. And if they saw someone coming, they'd give a signal. They'd hide away, their Hanukkahs and their books and whatever they were studying and doing, and pull out dreidels and start gambling with the dreidels. It's a gambling game, because of course gambling was allowed, just not practicing your religion. So yeah, that's the story behind that. And then it was also like a surreptitious way to, they were gambling, but on the dreidels it says "a great miracle happened there." They're also still celebrating. Anyway, that's fun. So sort of my sign off for this explanation of Hanukkah is that the spirit of Hanukkah is about religious freedom. It's about being free to your beliefs. Believe what you want to believe. You don't, obviously you don't need permission from me, but if anybody tells you that you can't believe a certain way, think a certain way, tell them to get right out of there, go home. Yeah, that's it. I hope everybody has a great new year, and see you next week.